I hope that's Osric Chau.
I take off my helmet, but it's actually kind of snug, so it'll take me a few minutes. So, if you don't know, this is from Skyrim. It's one of the games that Kevin plays.
Duh!
Thank you for that, Richard.
You're welcome. It's so obvious.
I love it when you know something that I don't.
When does that happen? I don't remember that ever happened.
That happens exactly half the time when you're talking about something.
Perfect.
Oh.
What's the character's name again? What's the character's name again?
Warrior.
Is this a warrior?
Warrior.
Jim Warrior or?
The game Skyrim, everyone kind of plays their own characters. This is like the title character that's on the cover.
Warrior.
Yeah.
Scott.
It's Scott Warrior.
His name is Steve.
Lawrence.
Actually.
Well, you look awesome as usual. I'm a big fan of your cosplay. And now I'm going to leave you with the people.
You missed my skirt, Rob. That was yesterday.
Damn it.
It's okay.
You always look so hot, I'm not kidding.
I really missed you, Rob.
Yes, you do. It always makes me question things, you know what I say? Alright, I love him so much. Osric Chau!
Okay. Oh. I'm starting third today, but I feel like this is still the early morning. So this helmet is perfectly molded to my head, which makes it really hard to squeeze on, and even harder to squeeze off. So at some point I'll probably pull it off, but it'll be an ordeal. My cosplayer that did my costume last year she actually made this one, so it's kind of a nice come around for those who were here last year in DC Con. Let's open the floor to questions. Hi.
Hi. I have to say, you're one of those people I feel like I could talk to for a ridiculous amount of time about video games and anime and stuff. But my question was about getting ready for Forward Unto Dawn and going into boot camp and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That whole experience, and then how it may be contrasted with like Sleeping Dogs and doing voice work, and just kind of the difference in those experiences, and then acting in Supernatural and how they kind of all, just the range of experiences there.
Well, one of my favorite experiences from Forward Unto Dawn. So this was instead of doing a ton of advertisements, Halo decided to make this web series leading up to the game's release for the 4th game. And being a gamer myself, it's always exciting to work on any type of game. For Halo, they didn't tell us what it was because it was so secretive that we had no idea. We thought we were doing this really bad web series about these military kids, and then we did all this training, which I loved. I'm a very physical actor. I came from a stunts background, and the actors with a few of the stunt guys would go into this PT training, which meant drills, weapons training, and we do like obstacle courses to test our endurance and stuff. I don't know why I think it's just to get into the habit of being a group, which I loved, because a lot of the stunt guys I did train with, and I was usually at the top, which, it's a good ego boost. But we had no idea what we were doing until maybe like 2 weeks into the project. Like we'd have read the script and everything. And then we see this warthog drive by. And the warthog was in the movie, but I thought they were just using it as a description. It's like, oh yeah, it looks like a warthog. But no, it was the actual warthog. And then they started pulling out the armor, and then Master Chief came out, and then they started giving us all these toys, and like, oh, this is the Halo project. And so of course it was, I never played Halo because I can't play first player shooters, but I have 3 roommates and we had 6 copies of the game. So, I was never too far from it. So that was awesome, just because I love the physical aspect of acting. Something like Sleeping Dogs, voiceover, it was me standing in a room in front of a mic for 2 hours yelling Chinese swear words at a mic. So you can't really compare those 2 experiences. Because I don't even swear in English. let alone know a bunch of swear words in Chinese. It was just like reading all these swear words in Chinese that I didn't really understand. So that was not as pleasant. Yeah, I don't know, swearing's a weird thing. Like even when I have to do it for a role, I still, there's like this mental block that doesn't allow me to say like the F word or something, and for some people it just comes out. And for me it's like, yeah. Can we change that word to like something else? But every project has been wonderful in a different way. Supernatural, a lot of it comes down to the cast and crew. You know, when you're working together with a unit that has been together for 10 years, there's just something special about that you can't really just emulate. Like sometimes you're gonna get some magic on a movie where everyone just gets along. But it's like that, everyone gets along, everyone has inside jokes, everyone has watched everyone's kid grow up. You know, it's just a different vibe, and so for that reason, Supernatural will always be, you know, that special kind of show. You're welcome.
Hi. I'm a little bit nervous, but...
Okay, then I'm gonna take off my helmet here. Take your time.
I was just wondering what you missed most about being on the show.
That was not bad at all. What I missed most about being on the show?
Yeah.
When I decided to go into the film industry, you know, I chose a very volatile lifestyle. I chose the opposite of what my dad wanted for me. He wanted me to have a secure job, you know, just a normal salary, 9 to 5, something that that would be safe. So when I decided to do this, I kind of threw that out the window and basically told him I would rather sleep on the streets with nothing than do the kind of job that he was describing to me. So Supernatural was the closest thing to a normal job that I ever had. You know, I mean, I did go in 9 to 5, but like sometimes you'd do an episode and it was like very Kevin heavy, and so I would be there 8 days out of the 8 days, and you know, it's like, oh, you go in, see the same people, come back home, same thing. And so for 15 episodes, you know, it'd be a month on, a month off, a month on, and a month off, and it was a reason for me to visit my home in Vancouver to see my family, and then I'd go off somewhere else, and then back home to Vancouver. And it was just a kind of routine that I had that I never had before. Because from 2007, I just kept moving around to different countries. You know, I lived in China for a bit, lived in LA for a bit, and then I just kept moving around between all 3 places depending on what I needed to do. And so with Supernatural, I had some sort of, I don't know, something that was kind of normal, you know, just being able to see my family all the time, being able to go in and see the same people. And there's just something familiar and nice about that, because I have a tendency to nest, and I don't get to do that. I haven't been able to do that since the show ended. So that's definitely something I miss about it.
Yeah.
And it's, again, it comes down to family, being around people that, you know, you get along so well with, like, knows you, and you know them. So that's a nice feeling.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, Osric.
Hi there.
So I was wondering, because you initially wanted to be a stunt person and ended up being an actor instead, do you ever regret not being able to follow that initial path, or are you totally cool with how it ended up being?
You know, being a stuntman, like, people think it's all about taking risks. It's actually safety is the main thing, and the stunt I did yesterday, if I was a stuntman, I would never have done that. I mean, I would have been a lot better at it, but I still wouldn't have done it because I was better at it. It would have been a different life. I love the stunt community. You know, it's such a tight-knit group. It's kind of dog-eat-dog. It's really competitive, and you have to be. Like, unless you're really well connected, you have to be the best in the world, or at least in the region at something, where they literally have no other options but to get you because you're just that good at something. And I really like that. The competitive side of me really just thrives on that. The problem is, you know, your body goes through wear and tear. It can only go through so much. And after a while, you know, even if you're into your 30s, 40s, at some point you have to think about something else. And a lot of stunt guys, you know, if they're not thinking ahead, their bodies can't perform. You have the younger guys coming up, and they don't know where to go from there, right? And it goes back to something else that they have to fall back on. There might be a couple of guys, girls that go into stunt coordinating or fight choreography, but there's only so many positions for that. And when I was training in China, I did a semester at the Beijing Sports University for martial arts. And you have all these incredible athletes, and they're competing with the best in the world, but, you only knew that maybe one, maybe two of these 100,000 athletes are gonna be at the level where they can sustain themselves as a coach or something. So, because there's just that many competitors, and they're all so good, it's just that no one knows about them. So unless they win that world championship, there really isn't a future in that sport that they spent their entire lives training for. So it's a very, very difficult life, much like something that's more prominent in North America, like dancers. I feel like dancers are some of the most underappreciated performers and artists out there. They spend so much time, they have to do it every single day. And it's just that appreciation isn't there for the amount of work that they put into it. So, as much as I would have loved it, it would have been a very, still a hard life, but a different life, and my body's pretty beat up already. Doing the Tough Mudder this year, my knees gave out after the first mile, and like Jared and Jason and everyone was like carrying me parts of the way. It was pretty, it's a pretty good way to do it. If you do Tough Mudder, bring some big guys to carry you. So yeah, I'm happy not to need to put myself through the risk of injury, but every chance I get, I'll do my own stunts. Thank you for having me.
Hi. My question is, if you were forced to live with either Jensen, Jared, or Misha for a year, who would you choose and why?
Do I have to choose?
You have to
Do I have to live with one of them?
choose. You have to live for a year. Choose
Well,
wisely.
Where are we?
Wherever you want.
What do you mean wherever I want?
An apartment?
You know.
Just to make it harder?
Oh, so just like normal life, city life.
Well,
Normal city life. And what am I doing in life? Am I just trying to have fun? Am I like pursuing working? Or am I?
did not think this through that much. I guess working, just like a normal life?
No, okay. Let's say I'm in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I'm pursuing a career, and I'm just really ambitious. I would live with Jensen because I feel like we would work a lot together. If I was teenager, early 20s, and just want to do stupid things, I would pick Jared because we get along and we'll play a lot of games together and waste all the time. And if I was retired, if I was retired but I wasn't ready to step into the grave yet, I'd bring Misha along because I feel like he would, we'd do things even though I didn't really want to. And at the end of the day, it'll be fun, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
Good answer. Thank you.
Alright.
So I just want to say that I cried when Kevin died. Like, I cried a lot. I was very distraught. I was wondering, how did you find out that you were going to die? And how do you feel about being killed by Jared?
This is one of those things that, you think twice about it. I forget which convention. It might have been Chicago. Or the one before Chicago last year, or the year that it happened. I was on stage and someone asked me, hey, if Kevin were to die, how would you want him to die? And, me being a troll, I just said, well, for maximum drama, Sam kills Kevin, The week after that, I was on an episode, and I'm just sitting there, waiting for them to set up the lights, and Jared comes up to me, he's like, hey, buddy. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but, you know, can I kill you? To which I respond, shut up, Jared. Stop being an idiot. And he's like, no, like, here, I just got like an outline. And I read the outline, I'm like, okay. So it was, you know, but I had been on the chopping block numerous times. They were gonna kill me at the end of my 3rd episode. They were gonna kill me like 3 times during season 8. You know, people kept telling me, it's like, oh, I saw your name on the kill list today. And I was like, all right, I've been waiting for it. You know, and every time it's like, oh, I guess they didn't kill you. It's like, oh yeah, you know, Bob talked them out of it. You're safe again. And so I was like, oh, safe. Season 9, like, oh, they're gonna keep me around forever. And then that happens. And I mean, there was a little glimmer of hope that they were gonna change their mind again, but they didn't. So just one of those things, you know, you play around with your expectations. But yeah, found out through Jared, and it happened. So thankfully it was a little bit less of a blow because I had like months to prepare for it. The only thing that kind of sucked is I did, I think, 2 conventions knowing that I was gonna die. And then after that I shot the scene, but I couldn't talk about it, and people kept asking me, it's like, oh, what do you want Kevin to do next? And all I wanted to do is yell, not die right now! That kind of stuff happened, so. There's that. You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask, what's the biggest prank that Jared or Jensen has played on you on set?
Thankfully, they haven't played any big pranks, just really annoying ones. The most elaborate prank that Jared did was he spent, with that scene I had the frying pan with, he spent, we had like a 15-pound cast iron frying pan, or no, it was a 20-pounder, and we had a prop rubber one, which was like 2 pounds. And so the prop person, you know, Robin, she's like, hey, which one do you want to use? I'm like, give me the cast iron frying pan. So I chose the 20-pounder, and it's, you know, it's 20 pounds, it's pretty heavy, so I put it down. Jared spends 20 minutes playing with this pan, it's just out of like in my periphery so I could see him playing with it. He just spends 20 minutes while I'm talking to the director, and at the end of this conversation, Jared's just like, hey, Oz, and he throws this thing, to which I freak out and I try to catch it, and I catch it, and he just starts laughing. He's like, look at your face, look at your face. He's like, and he just goes on laughing. I'm very unamused. I'm like, Jared, did you just spend 20 minutes playing with that pan, then swap it out when I wasn't looking? And he's like, yes. That is the biggest prank that they've played on me. I'm not the pranks guy, that's Misha. They love picking on Misha. And Misha picks back every now and then, but every time Misha it's like, I kicked you in the shins. You know, Jared will come back with a pie to the face. So, I don't know, you learn not to poke the bear. And so very early, season 8, episode 2, I had a water gun, and there was an opening where, you know, a couple of the crew members were like, you should give him a shot. And this was like a big moment. Thinking back, like the importance of that moment of having a water gun. But I didn't do it. And then Jared grabbed it from me and he shot our camera operator in the groin. His name is Brad. He also is one of the favorite targets. So yeah, it would have been a very different set, but they have enough guys playing pranks and, you know, wasting time, and I'd rather just go in and, you know, do a good job. So I strayed away from the pranking. As fun as it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean, maybe convention pranks are more fun, but let's not talk about that one. Hi.
Hi, I was wondering if you've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Love that.
What kind of bender would you be and why?
I love that kid. Who's seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? What a great show. I think that's like the best American-made cartoon I've ever seen. Just the character development. And that show and Parks and Recreation. It's like some of the best character development that I don't have a favorite character because I love so many of them. And then Legend of Korra came out and I loved what they did with it. I didn't like it as much, but I loved how they tied in a lot of it. It was very progressive in its story, and there's so many things that I loved about it too. I would say that I'm probably an earthbender, because I love a lot of the earthbenders. But thank you. I love that
Hi, my name's Arlene. We hugged yesterday during the autograph, and you smell really good.
Thank you.
I was wondering what kind of cologne you use.
I was telling my friend that it's summer and I sweat a lot, so I use deodorant. Normally I don't. But I got this, I don't even know what it is, to be honest. I found it in a bathroom. I'm serious. It was at a hotel. It was there, and I just took it. Because that's what you do at hotels, yeah. This is what I learned from my mom. You always leave a little extra space in your luggage and you throw everything in there. Let that be a lesson to all of you. It starts with an H. I can't remember the name.
So hot.
It's not Travis, but it starts with an H. I can't, Hermes. That one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I should use deodorant more often.
Hello. What's the most embarrassing story you feel comfortable sharing?
I feel like those are conflicting things. The most embarrassing story. I feel like I have a lot of them. One of my earliest, I pooped my pants at a McDonald's once. But I was 6. Wait, is that too old to do that? No. Well, I couldn't hold it. And it's still a vivid memory, because I remember my mom taking me into the girls' bathroom and having to clean it out. Maybe that wasn't as embarrassing. Maybe I'm a little bit proud of that one. Okay. Oh God, I don't know if I should share this. This is, okay, so I'm very ticklish. I remember saying that in front of Jared once and everyone groaned because they knew what was coming. But we used to play this game with my dad. It's kind of like Octopus. When we were younger, so he'd be in the middle and the three of me and my 2 brothers, we'd run across to the other side of the room, and if he'd catch us, he'd tickle us. And I don't know why we played this game so much, but every time he got me, I would pee my pants. Like, instantly. I just had no tolerance for it. I think the last time we played, I was 13. This is not good. But I don't know, like, every time, like, my bowels just loosen up, and it just flows, and I'd be like, Dad, Mom's gonna have to clean this up again. Have I told you how much I love my mom? Yeah, and even nowadays, like, sometimes I'll laugh too hard. I know, and there's like moments where it's like, oof, that was close. So it's still a danger, but I haven't had any like big uh-ohs in a while.
Thank you for sharing.
Right. I just know that there's a strong possibility that it could happen again. And so far I've been pretty good with preventing.
And now Jared knows about it.
Oh, no. It's alright, Jared.
So do we.
Thankfully, I'm a better wrestler than I was when I was 13. Hi.
Hi, first of all, I want to say you look really good in your cosplay.
Thank you, Alex.
And secondly, I was wondering if you ever done a Legend of Zelda cosplay, and if not, would you do one, and which character would you be?
If I were to do Legend of Zelda, I'd have to do Link. I mean, he's the character, and I already got the shield, and I was almost tempted to buy the sword, because every time I go to one of those Comic-Cons, there's always like a weapons area, and they have the replica items, and I just can't help myself sometimes, and I just collect these things. Yeah, I have to. I'd love to do a Link, though I think the best Links that I've ever seen have all been female. I don't know what it is, but the best Links I've seen are all female, so I don't know if I would do another character. I don't know if I would do Zelda. It's a really, really pretty dress, though. And she's probably like my favorite character to play with on Super Smash Bros. Melee, but probably still Link. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Howdy!
Hey.
I was wondering if you've ever had a dream in character.
In
Or of your
character?
character.
I think there was one episode where Kevin had a dream of Crowley. He dreamt of Crowley. He dreamt that Crowley was gonna kill him. Sorry, a dream about my character? That's a good question. I'm really bad at remembering dreams and colors and hairstyles, so sorry if I forget your haircuts. I don't think I have, or if I have, I've forgotten about it. Maybe one, because I do sleep a lot on set. Maybe while I was working one time, but I can't remember. And if it wasn't anything like, oh my god, that was crazy. There's Sam and Dean. No, I think for the most part, I keep, when I'm on. And actually, has anyone ever asked Jared and Jensen that? They might have. They've been playing the same characters for 10 years. I think by that time, you would probably start having dreams about your characters, but no Kevin dreams. But when you play a character, you're kind of very close to the character anyways, even if it's a really far off character you have nothing, you feel like there's no similarities. Every time you play them, you always bring a part of yourself into that character. So, in essence, that character is a version of yourself that would be there. So, maybe every dream I have is a Kevin dream. Maybe. And with that said, I've had these really weird dreams. Back to the embarrassing story. When the movie Space Jam came out, Lola Bunny gave me really weird dreams. Until I realized that she was a cartoon and a bunny. Anyways, I don't know why they would do that to kids. Oh, I'm just gonna start throwing out random stuff like that.
Hi, Osric. My name's Rose. I don't know if you remember yesterday, but you took a picture with my really old camera, so thank you.
It worked, yes.
It did, it was really good. But over the years, I've realized you have a liking for video games. So I was wondering, what would your feelings be if they made a supernatural video game?
Why haven't they made a supernatural video game yet? That's the real question. Really, they should have done one by now. I don't know why they haven't. There's an artist in here who made sprites of supernatural characters. Over there. Make the game. I don't know why they haven't, to be honest. I mean, okay, a couple of thoughts. It takes a long time to make a video game. Really long time, so you kind of have to pick and choose. But I feel like Supernatural would be a really fun little RPG. Would just look like these little pixie sprite characters. And you just walk around. There's a lot of things you can do. Also, it's a lot of story to figure out right which arcs, but I don't know. I feel like it's a very big shame that no one has done it yet. Maybe, I don't know. Warner Brothers kind of let Supernatural do its own thing, so maybe they're too occupied doing the show to make a video game. But unless they're going to license it to someone else, I think this could be a fandom project, honestly. I'm sure someone has made a video game, right? Well, you have Cards Against Humanity that's Supernatural themed. Thank you, by the way. Someone gave me that. Remember? Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's about time. Maybe someone can do something about that.
Thank you,
You're welcome. Oh, hey.
Hi. So first off, you make a wonderful dope keep.
Thank you.
And two, so since you've never played Halo, and you said you're not good at first-person shooters, please tell me at least you played Bioshock.
No, it's not that I'm not good at them. Well, I'm probably not good at them. It's that as soon as I start playing them, I need to throw up or take a nap. think the first game that I ever played that I had to throw up and take a nap was GoldenEye. N64, I love that console. Duke Nukem, you know, all those really old games, I always got dizzy and I didn't know why, and I always played through them, and I would always throw up a lot. But I thought I was just sick at the time. BioShock would be the same. Every CS, that was a huge thing. I mean,